this is Nick Vivian, editorial director of tnoooz. I'm back, ITB Day 1, with Leith Stevens, VP of Business Development for Redeam. This is actually our second interview about Redeam.
True.
So we were at Arrival, which was the first version of tnoozLIVE. So you're like a guinea pig.
Yeah, a guinea pig that came back for seconds.
Seconds of how many millions did you just raise?
We did just close 7.7 million
7.7
of venture capital funding.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It was a lot of hard work by the whole team. We've got some really good investors that we're very excited about. Vertical Venture Partners led the round. Thayer Ventures, which has done a lot of technology and hospitality focused investors, and JetBlue Travelaer Ventures as well. Building software is expensive, and building software in advance of all the customers that we're planning on getting this year is even more expensive. So we're doing it to grow our engineering team and grow our sales and marketing team, primarily.
And on the balance of that, more engineering, more sales and marketing, how does
Definitely
that
more engineering, yeah. The sales and marketing people actually bring in dollars. The engineering people just suck it all up.
So that's why you have to raise the money. It's like, you pay for yourself.
I'm going to get slapped when I get home.
Yeah, right. You're going to be in trouble. They're going to engineer you something special when you get back.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for the product roadmap? You know, last time we were really early days kind of talking about the first year or so. It's, what, 2 years now? Or am I
3 years almost,
okay.
yeah.
So, you know, where does that leave you? Where are you right now, and where do you want to go with that funding?
Yeah, I think even though the engineering side, there's a lot we're investing into it. Not a lot will change from our customers' perspective. Things will just get better. Some of the things that we're doing, a lot more integrations into reservation and ticketing systems. That's on the cards for this year. That gives us a more seamless experience for our customers, the tour and attraction operators. And then we also have a new handheld device. People who don't have their own system has a laser barcode scanner built in, just scans, beeps, lets people in. That's another little piece of it. And then obviously the sales and marketing team, we're looking to at least double the amount of suppliers that we have in our system this year. So we're about 250 now, hopefully to be about 500 by the end of the year. That's the goal anyway, so that's where most of it's going.
Amazing. So you guys built hardware, which is like a very rare thing in travel, actually. You know, you don't often talk about that. It's a lot of software, right? So what was that like?
Yeah, luckily it was outside of my purview, so I didn't have to deal with it.
Fine,
but,
it was great.
Yeah, it was really easy. No, it's important because we have the device and it's branded and that's all great, but it's a dedicated device that has things built into it for our specific needs. Like a lot of this stuff is used outside, right? So it needs to be droppable. It needs to be waterproof, or at least water resistant. All these kinds of things that you don't really think of until you start operating for a year or two, and you realize stuff breaks, and you'd like it to break less.
And I hear paper is water resistant too?
Oh wait, no, wrong. Not.
Fake news. Done.
People's mobile phones aren't even water resistant, so let's not even get into that.
I found that out last night. I was trying to get takeout on the way home, and my paper bag literally, it was snowing here in Berlin, and it ripped and fell on the ground. I was like, oh, paper, it's not there. So what's been the feedback from the suppliers? You know, how much has their life changed with this sort of product?
I think it's pretty dramatic. Most of the people who really like us are either the people on the front office that are dealing with the voucher exchange, they're dealing with all of these different pieces of paper, mobile, things that are showing up that no one really knows what to do with. Some of our customers have 300 or more different resellers. Each one has a different piece of paper or a different mobile voucher that they're going to show up with, and that has to be recorded somehow so they can send an invoice and get paid. And having that sort of breadth is a really challenging thing for a lot of the suppliers. So being able to just scan it, or even if it's already in their native system, makes it so much easier. So the feedback from the front office people is great. The other big difference is for the back office people, the people who do the accounting and have to send out those invoices. Some of these people are spending like weeks and weeks of a month dealing with all of last month's pieces of paper. With our system, a couple hours, they can just print out their invoices or email their invoices and get paid.
What are some of the, as you're out there kind of talking to folks, whether on the supply side or destinations, some of the challenges and things that people might, the viewers might get some value out of, current challenges or things that you see coming down the line that we have to fix or address?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is mobile, right? Everyone wants mobile. Everyone I talk to on the supplier side, on the reseller side, everyone knows that mobile is coming, but everyone wants to be at the forefront of it. So being able to show up, buy something on your phone, show up, scan it, and go in, that's the dream. And there has to be a lot of necessary plumbing put in place for that to really work. And that's really what Redeam does. So right now, we think of ourselves as, we get rid of vouchers, but actually what we're really doing is laying a lot of connectivity throughout the industry so that we can do so many cool new things in the future. Things like yield management, channel management, content management, all the things that flights and hotels have had for flights for decades, hotels maybe about a decade, we're bringing to the tours and attractions industry. That's the long-term vision, and that's really the real answer why we need $7.7 million. And
the integrations, right? You got to get there, right? To get to that vision, and it costs that money.
Yep.
What about Wi-Fi and like access to these things? If you're in a place that doesn't have it, is that something the device handles, or how do you deal with connectivity just in general?
Yeah, I mean, connectivity for us is sort of table stakes. It's not something we focus on as a differentiator at all. But yeah, our devices are fully sort of self-enclosed. So we give them to the supplier, and they just scan it. They don't need to do anything; they just turn it on. It's already configured for them. They can log in. They can use it. We use the cellular network. It's worldwide. Works in 160 countries or something crazy. Right. So we can just plug it in and go.
Cool.
All I have to do is charge it.
Just charge it.
Yeah,
that's
and
next,
turn it on.
You know, right, and actually turn it on for it to work.
Yeah.
So tours and activities, you know, as we were at Arrival, the first conference for tours and activities, kind of, you know, it seems to be having finally a moment. You know, it's been around and everyone talks about how it needs to be fixed, although I hate that part. It's just, you know, consolidating supply or whatever, however you want to approach it.
It needs to be modernized.
You know, modernized, you know, and also some people I think maybe in the mom and pop side they don't care about modernization, so that's a whole other maybe discussion. But is there room for like a portal, a consumer facing portal, like in y'all's vision, you know, where you might just say, you know, here's every tour and activity in our entire space that you can book, or is that?
That's a whole different business.
That's why.
We don't want to go into that at all. I think, you know, the founders of this company, myself, Alex Kramer, Kevin McLaughlin, we've been in that space before. It's really tough. It's not something we want to go into again. The other thing I think to really think about is the competitors that are out there. If we were to go into it, they're tremendous. You know, you look at TripAdvisor and Get Your Guide. The amount of money, Get Your Guide's raised over $100 million. Like, there's no way we're going to try and go after that. What's more, they're really good at it. They're really good partners for us, and I think they're pushing us to be better, and they're pushing the suppliers to be better. You talk about the mom and pops, the ones that don't really want to modernize. It's not that they don't want to modernize, it's that life is good, you know. They're sitting on a river, they're hiring out kayaks or canoes or whatever. They come in every day and, you know, all they have to do is open the door and people pay the money. You know, they don't think about, well, where's the industry going? How do I be on the forefront of mobile voucher technology or something like that? I don't think about that. They'll have to eventually, but maybe not in the next year or two.
This lifestyle business is kind of the point of it, is to not think about some of that stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's wrap it up and close it with just you know, we've got a lot of startup readers and viewers. You know, you've sold companies. You're in another one that is high growth now. Advice, you know, if I'm struggling, you know, how you got to where you were, anything that comes to mind when, you know, especially in tours and activities or travel, you know, what do I need to know?
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Besides, don't do consumer facing.
Yeah, don't do consumer facing unless you have $100 million.
Yeah, right. Raise a lot of money or don't.
Yeah, don't do consumer facing. That's number one. Number two, don't do trip planning. Yeah. Actually, if you're in the tourism industry and you think you want to do a tech startup, don't do trip planning. After that, try and find a good network of people that are in a similar stage to you. I was talking to one of my friends that I've known for 5 or 6 years in travel technology as well, and we're like, isn't it amazing that, you know, now some of the people that we've worked with are either in really successful big companies, or they've grown their own companies to be really big. They're like VP levels at public companies, and, you know, you can build this network and grow with one another and help one another along the way. I think that's really, really important. Probably one of the best things I did was join an accelerator called Techstars. And the mentorship and the way that you can make mistakes quicker or avoid mistakes is really the biggest thing that you can do to get forward in a startup, in my opinion. Because most startups die not because they have a bad idea, but because they pursue too many wrong ideas before they get to the good one, right? And you gotta have people who have been there who can say, don't do this, it's been tried, try and do it this way. And it's not just about the business idea, but it's about, you know, how do you hire? Right? How do you manage your finances? How do you raise money? You know, there's 100 different things you got to do when you're running your own business. It can't just be, I got to focus on an idea. That's typically the easiest part. Executing on the idea is the hardest part, and a strong network is the greatest way to do that.
Avoidable mistakes. Yeah. No need to do them again, right?
Yeah.
Another lesson to learn.
That's my motto actually for every startup I do, is don't make the same mistakes I made last time. If I keep on doing that, eventually I'm going to make all the right choices.
Well, eventually, right? Yeah. After a number of companies, right?
With infinite number of years.
Right, exactly. Thank you very much. It's
Thanks,
been
Nick.
great. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this is Nick Vivian again. We are live from ITB all week long.